All right. Let's get this party started. This Friday party. 179. I wonder what the dice will command me to draw today. And it's the last day for round 4. Oh Jesus. Oh Jesus. Yeah, it's round 4 finishes today, then judging, then it will be the comeback bracket finale for all the comeback people fighting for a place in the final, and all the winners of round 4 will wait for the finale. And I think it's 7 people finale, and 1, 2, 3 placement will get some goodies, and all the rest will just get honor. Now I think everyone else will have like a copy of Firestarter magazine, and then try to make it the Firestarter magazine will feature the finale in that magazine, I think, for sure. And for sure there will be an article about it on the main page of Firestarter. And yeah, it will be good stuff. I'm looking forward to that, actually. I'm looking forward to see how and when it will all end. And it's exciting. It is exciting indeed. Now, I don't know the dates. Let's see, it is going to be results day, week of judging. Hey, Failing Salad, how's it going? Bruno Romanos. Dr. Sheldon, how's it going? Good morning, doctor. So give me some suggestions on what to draw, if you have any. If not, I'll come up with something. Give me your imagination. Man, I'm designing a Minotaur. Cool. Hi, Zillion. I'm designing these stuff for a client for quite some time now. I think I'm on my 10th or so character for this IP, and it's each IP is constantly, or each character is constantly challenging me in a different way, because they want me to push the concepts quite a lot. So it's quite interesting to, in a way, to try to wow them with some weird ideas, right? And then they go, oh yeah, that one, let's refine it and make it work into the world, right? So that, and also it's fascinating to be a part of a big project. I love every time big project and you're in the beginning of it and you mold it with the art director, and it's always so much fun to do. Something with slimy skin. All right, slimy skin is that topic then. Suggestion, Minotaur. Do you guys have any more suggestions, or do we only have 2 suggestions? Hey Yatsuki, how's it going? If it's 2 suggestions, I will split the dice in 2. You have until now. Let's see. All right, so it's only 2 suggestions. Split it in half, which means first half is Minotaur, and we'll do slimy Minotaur. All right, that's key. Minotaur. Let's do slimy Minotaur. slimy Minotaur. Hey, is it me okay Waney or Miok Waney or Miokwa Ini? Inform me. Hey Miguel, how's it going? Oh, Bruno Romanos, good idea, but a bit too late. Oh, snap! Alright, slimy Minotaur. Let's go old sketching style. Let's use a textured brush this time. Slimy Minotaur. Okay, I got a pretty interesting idea in my head. The idea is not like fascinating, it's just the kind of the pose. So I'm gonna try to chase it. How it's gonna be slimy, we'll see. Slimy Minotaur gonna get that promotion. Okay, so in my mind what I saw was this kind of from below view with the Minotaur's horns, and it's kind of looking to the horizon type thing, right? And the strength of this shape is what I enjoyed in my mind, you know, like this kind of hero chest out type thing. Miok, all right. Miguel, well, no, I approached the organizers, and they said, "Oh, you just wait. We're going out with some info, so I'll get back to you." And they sent out an email to all the people involved, you know, about helping, sharing, and so on. So obviously, I will do that, but I want to, before I share the thing that they asked to share, you know, promote, I want to check with them regarding what they had in mind. And I think what they said was there's one main hall and then a smaller 40-person classroom. So which leads me to thinking that I could maybe do the true and tested character design talk, which I've done a few times, and then do a demo, but I don't know, I will check with them, or just do demos every day in that small classroom, like an hour or two every morning. People can just drop in and ask questions. I think that will be cool. I mean, a 40 people room, it's like a big classroom. So I think that could be a cool little experience for me and for the people, you know. Why did my chat reset? Welcome to the chat room. Am I live? I am live. Very strange. All right. Odd. Yeah, so in a way, what I think would be interesting would be to just demo. I could do some concept art demo and let people sit in and come and watch how the concept develops, and you know, I could go from start to finish more or less. Hey, it's Xuritsu? It's Chorizo? Chorizo? That's a lot of emotes. How's it going? Yeah, so we'll see really, but in a way I'd like to do a demo, as in like really have time to sit and concept up some cool stuff and push it to final, you know, render it up, design it, things like that, rather than kind of break it up into with conversation. Zuritsu. Itsuritsu? Itsuritsu? Alright, cool. Hey, 11-8. Did someone raid me or something? Lots of new names. Cool. 11-8. I will not be at, as it looks like now, I will not be at THU this year. Last year I was invited because I won the golden ticket. And if THU invites me, fantastic, then I will go. But as it looks like now, I am not invited, so I won't go. But I'm not saying no, but as it stands right now, no, I won't. Hey, Yggdrall, how's it going? Hey, with a breakfast, what up? Hey, well, Miyok, well, it's a fun technique. I'm a little bit scattered at the moment. I'm talking a lot, and I'm reading the chat, which is never a good sign if you want to be productive. But this sketching technique is an old sketching technique I played around with many years ago. And step 2 is using overlay on top. So you kind of build the base up with brush marks, and you have space to play around with design and so on. And I'm doing quite a horrible job at it today for some reason. But nevertheless, it's a warm-up. And it's good to kind of get the demons out, right? Why am I struggling? This is ridiculous. Everything is just awkward here. Oh well. Hey, Ricky, how's it going? 11-8. Yeah, it is boring. I quite enjoyed THU last year, actually. It was a lot of fun. And it was also fun to go to a workshop where I didn't need to do any lectures, I didn't need to do any demos, I didn't need to do portfolio reviews. I did portfolio reviews at THU though, because people asked. But it was fun not to be like there for work, right? So that was quite a change of pace, because all the workshops I've been to last 6 years is through invitation, right? To lecture or demo or you know, be a part of the workshop rather than be an attendee to the workshop. So it was really different this time around at THU to just kind of kick back, you know. It was very enjoyable. But I saw on Facebook that THU will have another golden ticket competition, so that's exciting. I'm definitely gonna try to get another free ride, you know, because I'm the running champion at the moment, right? So I gotta defend my honor. Erika, that's nice. Yeah, they have to rename them to Bjorn tickets. Yeah, exactly. Is that the smoothing at 0% that make all your draw darker or more gray? Well, 11A, well, thank you. Thank you very much. I met a lot of people at the burger line, so my apologies for not having a face to the name. I don't know really Yggdrasil, but I sample a lot. But I also have a lot of control on the opacity through my settings for the Wacom. So I have a full range like that, and I do a lot of layers on top, and then I sample if I want to. It's just the way I've always used Photoshop to kind of carve the volume, right, and add the volume, and use a lot of marks and allowing the marks to build up. So that might be what you spotted, that how it becomes darker and darker is because you can see how often like I sample quite a lot. So it's become a pattern of mine due to the fact that I enjoy it. I enjoy the look of it. I enjoy the process of doing so. So I think it's just a part of me at the moment. If I try not to, it's really hard not to. I've even set up so that the top button on the pen is a sample, so I don't even need to have a hand on the keyboard. So I can just paint, sample, paint, sample, paint as much as I want. Hey Kirill, how's it going? Good morning. Miok. Well, yeah, it's a fun process. This sketching style is for me very enjoyable. It's the way I started learning digital for more than one reason, but one of the bigger reasons why I've always enjoyed this sketching style and why it is the way it is because I used a lot at the beginning of me trying to learn digital art, like back in 2001 forward, was a program called Open Canvas, which was a basic version of Photoshop, but it had network function. So what happened was there was a lot of artists who joined in, and at that time there was just one layer, so you could layer on top and color if you wanted, but overall what you had to do was you had to paint on the one layer that you had, and the sketching brush was fantastic. It was like really quite lovely. It was smooth, silky smooth round brush, so there was a lot of nice gradients you could do, but it resulted in you had no fancy stuff, you know. So what you had to do was just use the grayscale, and there was no texture brush. So what you had to do was kind of try to figure out a way to texture your painting without having you know, it was a round brush. That's all you had. You had no texture brush, no chalk, no nothing. It was just one singular brush to use. So in a way you had to try to hack noise in there, right? And one of the ways I decided to or figured out how to do was go big to small and layer the marks. So in that turn you can get like a noise level in the painting. Failing salad. It depends on the brush setting, but most of my brushes, they don't have size difference on pressure. They have opacity difference on pressure, as in like that, right? I can have more or less on the brush, and I mean in this brush there is a subtle shift in size, so that's built into the brush itself. But generally I don't like when the brushes change size too much. It becomes distracting because I use the brushes in a specific way, and when they don't act the way I'm used to, it's jarring, and a lot of the noise that I build up when I sketch like this, for example, it becomes even noisier because the width changes, and with the pressure change, it just becomes a wobbly mess, you know. Well, thank you, Cesar Almeida. Thank you very much. It was a good fun to do. I really liked it. It was mostly just a sketch I took to finish, or finished the sketch rather. But yeah, I'm very glad you like it. Was a fun little project to do, or project. I don't know why I said project. Sketch. For those who don't know, I will show you. This one. This is a series I call Dark Fantasy. So it was just me playing around with shape language, and one person on the stream asked, you know, why the armor looked the way it did on one of my lunches, and I just explained that the basics of it is that I played with shapes. So it's circle and lines. That's basically the goblin design, and it's just placed differently over the volume of the character, and it kind of dictated the pattern. And I just tried to it was quite a basic sketch, basic design of just having fun with design language, and I just decided, you know, like, okay, I'm gonna make these simple shapes work, and I ended up just kind of tying those blocks of shapes together with brown. But it worked. I liked it, and that's the whole purpose of the Dark Fantasy series, is not to create like masterpieces, but it's a practice in finishing a concept in a way where texture and light comes into play to the degree where it's absolutely acceptable, and you don't question the finish on them. Bruno Romanos, yeah, absolutely. I think that would be ideal. And for all you new people on ArtStation, there's 6 volumes of different Dark Fantasy sketches that you can have a look at if you're interested. It's an ongoing series of these kind of. The idea is not to have Men in Tights fantasy, you know, but a little bit darker and dirtier and grittier and scarier fantasy, rather than the tropes, you know, of princes and men in tights and so on. So it's a little bit like fantastical, medieval, dark, a more mature tone to the fantasy in that sense, but spectacular. So there's lots there to look at if anyone is interested. So one thing that's cool with this technique, that you use grayscale, and I will show you the coloring technique that I mentioned, is when you use overlay and you have a clean background. So now I can go full blast with overlay, and because overlay only bites on a pixel value, and when there is no pixel value, as in white or black, obviously black, it has pixel value, but it won't show. But white, it doesn't pick up. So you're free to add color as you wish. You can layer values, colors, I mean, on top. But one thing when you use this technique is be careful because overlay burns value as well. You can see here with red, it burns the value, right? It changes the value properties. So depending on how high and low you go on the value range, and not saturation, it will act differently. But overall, it's a pretty safe, you know, and it's fun. You know, you can build a picture up, and then you can have some fun with overlay on top. But also, what I wanted to say on the same principle of overlay and overlay biting only on value. When you've built up your base, you can also continue to build your base with values by using overlay and grays or whites, and you can push the form a little bit further. And what's cool with that is if I go full blast, you see I can remove, but also because it's overlay, it retains the structure underneath to some degree. So in that way, you can get even more complex textures. You know, in the way of I mentioned that because of open canvas, you didn't have texture, so you need to create texture. And this way, you can create texture on top of texture by retaining the noise you built up already. Miok, Men in Tights is like classic Robin Hood. And compare, like, say, Robin Hood to Lord of the Rings, where Lord of the Rings is quite more mature and nasty and dirty and bloody and mature, versus Robin Hood or Legend. I don't know if you're old enough to remember that movie. But you know, there's a lot of fantasy art or fantasy stuff that is quite meek or in the middle of the road, like especially TV show fantasy stuff like Warrior, Xena, Princess. I mean, they had some pretty cool designs there, but sometimes it's a little bit like Men in Tights fantasy, you know. And like Narnia was a little bit, you know, but it had some cool designs, but mostly it's a little bit like Men in Tights, you know, spandex pants and the jolly archer, you know, a little bit cheese. Hey, Blind Coyote, how's it going? Good morning. Miguel, yeah, I mean, the tone of Legend was quite dark, but it was quite stereotypical fantasy, you know, princess with pretty dress, and but the tone of Legend was dark, you know, so it was a little bit different. So maybe Legend wasn't the best example per se, but it just popped into my mind. Miok, yeah, exactly. The reason Robin Hood was over cheesy, yeah, man. Like Kevin Costner's Robin Hood was also cheese. And there's I don't remember the name of the TV show, but there's some fantasy TV shows which is like, you know, I don't want to shit on them, but it's generic, you know, and it's very outplayed style. Even, I mean, even Lord of the Rings had a little bit of like Men in Tights warning at times, but overall I think Lord of the Rings was quite dark and mature, and I absolutely enjoyed the darker tones in Lord of the Rings way more than when they went for the little bit of you know, tried and tested, is that what it, how you say? Failing Salad. That's the company that commissioned the art. It's there. They have 3D artists. It's a tabletop RPG, so it's physical statues that they made out of my design. I think I should have. I think it's written in the post, so it shouldn't be too. I don't know. Yeah, the orcs absolutely saved Lord of the Rings. Absolutely. Orcs and trolls and goblins. That was like, and that Balrog. Holy shit, that Balrog was like. When I saw the Balrog the first time, I was like, "Fuck yeah! Finally, a fantasy movie that is like mean, like heavy metal fantasy. Let's go, let's go." And then it was like, ah. But overall, I would say Lord of the Rings was pretty fucking good, cool. At that time, at least, it was like, what? Fantasy movie that isn't cheese? Get out of here. Tried and true, maybe. Sauron's mouth, Miok, yeah, and also the I never remember the name of it, but the guy or the spokesperson for Sauron that rides out and meets the army at the last movie, the guy with the like the crown and the teeth and like the nasty ass mouth. Oh man, I love that design. That was super cool design. When I saw that one, I was like, "Fuck yeah, that's some cool ass fantasy right there." I really enjoyed it. I think Lord of the Rings was at least um, one of my favorite movies. And then the dwarf movies, I think they were a little bit like empty. They were a little bit like just riding the wave rather than pushing the envelope the extent that the original Lord of the Rings did when they were released. You know, when they were released, it was such a change. You know, it's a drastic, epic change to the portrayal of fantasy, right? And I kind of was hoping that Smaug and the dwarves, etc., they would keep pushing. But I mean, in a way, they cornered themselves because the originals they created that universe, that visual language, and I think even though they could have pushed a bit further or differently, I still think that they did a good job visually on those movies. But it wasn't never any. There was no like real hero character, if you know what I mean, like that floored you by the appearance or by the design. It was mostly like, oh yeah, this is what I expected. Miok. All right, yeah, that's what his name, Sauron's mouth. Yeah, sorry, I'm stupid. Black Company. I'm not sure about Black Company. I haven't heard it. I'll look it up. Miguel, the Hobbit movies. Yeah, they are what they are, right? I mean, you can't argue. I mean, like my nose is super itchy. I've been touching my nose all day today. Fucking, come on. But I started like raining shit on their parade. Like, oh, how could you design this? How could you design that? And kind of like just complaining. But imagine yourself in the position of having to maintain what is Lord of the Rings now and then create something new and different. but it can't be different, and it can't be new, but it has to be new, and it has to be different, and it has to be such a scale where all people enjoy it, and also tick the boxes for the diehard fans. So after that thought, I was like, oh shit, that's true. Like, it's easy to be the couch commentator, you know. But then, like, what would you actually do, and how would you tackle that massive challenge, you know? So then it dawned on me, like, okay, I just have to comment of like my personal opinion rather than saying that that guy is shit. There's a vastly huge difference there in approach, right? It's either saying, well, you are shit, you destroyed everything, or I don't like what you did. Right? It's quite a significant difference. I know the time has stopped, but it has to be slimy. So I need to add a little bit of quick wet highlights to indicate he's all lubed up and ready. I'm ready for my close-up. Oh yeah, look at that shiny chest. Only if it I don't know what I was going to say there. There we go. Minotaur. Oh shit. Minotaurs need a nose ring, right? That's the going stereotype. There we go. Minotaur. Kirill, cool. I will actually write up Black Company and look it up. Company sounds cool. 11-8. No, I'm not pollen allergic. It's just today is itchy, not inside, but like the tip. I don't know why. Stress. Hey, Exonis TV. Well, thank you very much. Welcome. Every day, the same time, half an hour morning. Warm up. It starts 10 past 9 UK time AM, and then runs for half an hour, and then switch off. I stream on my lunches and nights at times, but the standard regular stream that's always on is in the morning in the UK. So you're welcome back, man. Kirill, the Friday GIF. That's true. I need to incorporate that again. I put it on Discord, by the way. Miok, yeah, absolutely, I agree. Tonight at 8 p.m. UK time, or GMT, I think I've said, is the deadline for round 4, so don't miss it. Make sure you post the work in progress and final on the forum. You can do round 4, and the bot will give you things, and you can do deadline if you want to know exact times. 11:80, absolutely, come back. And now we will raid someone. So if you have any suggestions on who to raid to pass the love on to, let me know. Otherwise, if I don't have anyone on my friends list, we will deep dive in the art category. But I see my buddy Joe streaming. I will see what he's up to. Oh, he's looking back at old stuff. let's go raid Joe. He's a great guy, super skilled, super chill, plays great music, all around great guy. And if you haven't follow him, you got to, right? Make sure you give him some love. As per usual, I'll do the outro, and after the outro, I'll take you to the raid, so stay tuned. Have a great day. Good night if you're that part of the world. Have a fantastic weekend if I don't stream over the weekend, but I most likely will stream. Anyways, have a great one. Good luck. Toodles.